There's a lot of chess advice out there on the internet, and for a lot of you people, it actually may be confusing, especially when it's with titled players. And today I'm going to give you a no BS guide on how to improve your chess. And these methods worked for me, so I'm going to give you some tips and some tricks and some advice on how to overcome your plateau and just simply get better. And yeah, let's get into it. The first tip is actually something that I made, and actually I think that a lot of people skip over. I'm going to give you a guide on how to fix your mistakes, and I call it the bandage theory. The bandage theory works on fixing your mistakes. First of all, what you're going to need to do is get a sample of at least 20 games that you've recently played, if it's rapid or blitz, whatever you main pretty much. Don't include bullet because that's way too fast and that has no learning reasoning to it. And what you're going to do is you're going to take all those games and you're going to figure out why you made the mistake and put it in a category. So basically in your games, what you're going to do is you're going to categorize it in 3 different places. Number 1 is hangers or hanging pieces. Another one is positional blunders and mistakes. And the last one is tactical ones. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to go through each and every one of your games and see whether it is a hanger, a positional, or a tactical mistake. So let's go through our game. So in this game, I was playing at 2100 and my opponent played Queen H4. Notice I'm playing a closed Sicilian Grand Prix attack and I don't really have an advantage. And in this game, I played G3. And G3 is a positional mistake because it allows the queen to go here and now he can play H4 and have threats of checkmate. And this is not good because I need to defend. And guess what? Even if I'm not defending, he's going to start an attack. He's going to bring his other bishop into the game and maybe pawn storm. And this is what I consider a positional mistake. So what I have found in most of my games is I lose to positional and tactical mistakes. At the higher level, you don't usually lose to hangers. And what I usually do is I need to fix the ideas of my games and try and learn from them. Here is another example. In this game, I missed a tactical mistake. My opponent took here, and instead I took back the pawn because I thought it was better. But actually, the best move in this position is to take the rook. And when you take the rook, he has to take back and you give check. That is pretty much the idea. Even if he tries to go check, you can go king h8. And let's say they try the queen. Yeah, that's not going to work because you can just take back. And basically, they are pinned. So this is technically not the greatest idea, and I completely missed this idea starting with their pawn blunder. So I missed a tactical move, and this on my part is a tactical mistake. Now I don't usually go through all of my games and I don't usually lose to hangers, so I figured out that I was losing most of my games to tactical mistakes and positional mistakes. So what can I do to figure out all these different mistakes? Let's go through each of the categories. If you are having problems with positional chess, the best thing that I actually did to improve was go through some of the most positional master games in the database. For example, Bobby Fischer games I've been going through a lot of Garry Kasparov games, and basically looking at the top players and trying to figure out how they played their games and try and mimic their games and their movements to avoid the same mistakes I did. If you're losing to tactical mistakes, I would say consider doing more puzzles, especially defensive puzzles. There is a setting on chess.com, it shows up above. Basically what you can do is you can hit theme puzzles and hit the defensive part, and these will help tremendously on your defensive game, and especially trying to find your opponent's tactics and trying to avoid them, and basically try and win games with defending well. If you are losing to blunders or straight up hangers, try to find better moves for your pieces. For example, if you just hung a full knight in the middle of nowhere, or you moved a piece that undefended that piece, try and find a better move. For example, if you moved a knight that just has no protection, try and find a piece that will protect it, or maybe try and put it into a safer square to give you better results. This is the bandage theory, and it actually helped me a lot because I was figuring out why I was losing my games. So since I was losing to more defensive and tactical moves from my opponents, and also losing to positional type moves, I had to learn how to fix these. Yes, I am no perfect person, but when you have concreted your ideas and avoid the same mistakes from last time, you are more likely to become a stronger player for the future. The second tip that I actually ask people to do is play stronger players. Yes, I know what you're probably saying. It's fun to play the lower categories, but to get better, you need to beat the best. And that's how I grew my rating and actually became 2000. Now, what did I do to ensure that? Well, actually, if I go to play online, basically I can change a setting. I hit custom, and basically I have changed my rating range, especially for my rapid games, my rated rapid games, from -25 to infinity. So basically I'm playing anybody above my rating of 2000 and playing nobody under the rating of 2000. I'm not playing 1900s anymore since I'm 2035. I'm basically playing anybody 2010 and above. This will help me get stronger, and this will help me improve my games. And this is especially important because when you play stronger players and you play people that are above your range, you seemingly can find that, yes, it may be stressful, but trust me, it's high reward and less risk. Believe it or not, when you play higher rated players, you don't lose as much elo to those that are in a lower rating category. For example, if I play somebody that's 100 points higher than me, I will only lose around like 6 or 7 points, maybe even 5, depending on what their rating range is. Maybe if they're 2150, then maybe it's like 6 or 5 points. If it's like high 2000s, maybe 7, but it's not too much to the point where I'm losing 10, 11 elo each game. And so this is huge, and it will also help you play better players and understand why they are the best at what they do. The third and final tip I have for you guys is actually finding the right time control. It's really hard for a lot of players, especially the people that are in the beginner to intermediate range that want to improve, but find it hard losing on time or simply getting low on time and making the mistakes because of that. Basically, if you are able to look at a position, especially the tough positions, and find out correct moves in around 10 to 15 seconds, then the 10-minute range will be good, because usually games go on for around 30 moves or maybe 30 to 35 moves. But if you're having longer times to figure out positions, maybe it's best to turn on an increment or play longer time controls. For example, playing 30-minute chess is actually great for a lot of people that find it hard to actually focus and to study positions well. But if you want something around the mid-range, maybe 15 to 10 second increments are probably your best bet, because they don't help you lose on time, and because you get extra time added to each move you play, the games go for longer, and the risk of, not blundering is less and decreased. And this was especially huge, especially for me preparing for an over-the-board tournament next month. Playing the 15-10 increment was probably my best chance of playing good solid chess. But like I said, time controls and learning how to figure out the right time control and what is best for you is very important. And I feel like it is such a misused idea of saying, oh, 10-minute is the best. That's kind of the way I've been looking at my chess games. I've learned that the longer that I look at a position, the better moves I play. Yes, 10-minute is good for me, especially at the higher level, because sometimes I do like flagging. But if you want solid chess games and you want to play at your very best, playing with longer time controls, longer than 10 minutes, if you want to study the game and find positions well, that's what I recommend. For example, we have the 10-minute here, but we also have the 15 and also the 30-minute, and these are also huge for anyone that can't actually figure out the right time control for themselves. Take your time, figure out which one's best for you, and figure out which ones you play more accurately with. Anyways, that's the video. Hope you guys liked it. It was kind of short and sweet, but that's the best tips that I can give you. These were the main components to actually break the 17, 18, 1900 range and helped me become the better player that I am. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.